far they could get the person to that place by 6 a.m. And that was the overhead and capital that they built into their business. So that as that's been stripped away to the cost to create and distribute that content, the local incumbents are totally like in trouble, to be polite, and that speaks huge opportunity for all of us when we're looking at location and mobile and content. The third trend that we saw is that consumers are craving relevance, and we demand it. And if you think about every other vertical that exists, it's location awareness and location relevance is still a bit of a novelty. Oh, that's cool, that's around me, that's neat, and it's great, and we're all doing interesting things to help push that forward. But I only read news about the Red Sox. I only get emails on when somebody on the my favorite team, my fantasy football team breaks his leg, right? Like, I'm only getting updates on my stocks that are interesting to me. Only on migraine headaches I get email alerts. Like, just the things that are relevant to me. I don't go to health. I don't go to WebMD, right? Like, that stuff comes to me that's relevant to me, and we all expect that. But what we haven't come to expect, but are starting to demand, is that geographical relevance, and it still sort of hits you in the face in a way that I don't think people have solved in a real way yet, which is a lot of why we've been pushing so hard on our API. But consumers demand that relevance, and I don't think anyone's really delivered it in a meaningful way from a location standpoint yet. The fourth trend is the advertising dollars moving from offline to online and local rapidly. You can look at what's happened to the newspapers, you can look at what's happened to the Yellow Pages and see how the Yellow Pages are now actively stopping publishing their books. They want people to stop taking their books and getting out of that business, trying to as quickly as they can. And dollars are moving online, and I would break it into two categories for simplicity. First is the small to medium-sized local business who gets, on average, 3 phone calls a week or sales calls a week to buy online. Right? It's either a Yellow Page company, pure play like Yodel or Reach Local, or a patch regional salesperson, local salesperson, and they're buying on average 1.5 local online products, small and mid-sized businesses. And the second is the big brands, right? So someone asked a question about the big brands. Those guys are shifting dollars and are looking actively and aggressively to get their money off of TV, get their money into well-lit, branded environments where they can reach their customers in meaningful ways, and increasingly local is an important part of that. And so those are the major trends that we said, oh my God, there's a huge opportunity, hundreds of billions of dollars in local transactions, $115 billion in local advertising. How do we capture that share? That's sort of our party line and what we look at to go build and capture from a business standpoint. I have one pet peeve, and this is my opinion only, right? So I'm a dad in the suburbs, and I use Foursquare, I use Twitter, I do all that stuff. But like, I don't think you can really, really appreciate local, build big local businesses if you are only in the city and only going to cool coffee shops and cool donut shops and checking in and understanding that. Because I think this is a meme that I've had with some friends and other companies, that to really understand where local dollars are being spent, they're spent by moms and dads who are spending money on their kids, on their house, on their dishwashing detergent, and just massive. The real dollars flow when you get out of the cool, hip, fun stuff. And if you want to build a really, really big business, look at the billions or trillions of dollars of brand dollar infrastructure that exists in this city that is looking for places to put their money. And so this is me, not AOL or Patch or OutsideIn, but this is me. I think you gotta shoot for the big pie, right? And like, just the fact that Lauren checked in at Cafe Grumpy for a cup of coffee is cool, but like, that's not a $1 billion business, right? So like, think about right, she does it a lot, but think about where the billions and billions of dollars are being spent, not the millions of dollars, which would all be great, frankly, if you get some of it anyway. But I go on too long. But it's with great pleasure and pride that I'm going to hand the microphone to Lauren Sperber, who is our senior product manager, who runs our API and lots of other things and platforms.
Where is this like the right place to hold this? Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to tell you about OutsideIn's API. It still says OutsideIn because we're still in the process of transitioning. So just a little bit about what OutsideIn did before we got bought. Our mission was to organize the web by neighborhood. So the way we did that was we looked at about 60,000 RSS feeds from local media companies like your local TV station, your local newspaper, and also some local bloggers. And we analyzed about 75,000 posts a day for mentions of locations. And locations could be anything from a place of interest, like a business or a landmark, to a region like a neighborhood, a zip code, a city.